Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by TheLines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. And we've got Playa Props here on Wednesday for you guys. 10 games on the slate. 11 teams of those 20 that are playing are on a back-to-back after playing last night. So we definitely got to be careful with these lines here, but make sure you're checking those injury reports as they come out throughout the day. We've also got up best bets with some sides and totals looks for you in a separate episode, and we've got both of those for you each and every weekday. So make sure that you are subscribed to that channel and continue to follow along with us into this postseason. Definitely going to be here all the way through the finals with y'all, but also want to make sure that you do check out the description of the video. We have the link to the newsletter that comes out every Friday. Really, really crucial. Been really helpful for me as well in terms of helping me stay on top of what's going on in the sports betting world with some picks for the weekend, including a best bet parlay that Nate and I put together for you guys each Friday. Make sure you check out that the link of the video in that description of the video. Nate, I was horrible yesterday, so I'm going to do better, I promise. Let's go ahead and kick it off with your first play a prop here for Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to take Nikola Jokic over 22.5 rebounds and assists, or the plus money for just 11 assists, which is crazy considering a triple-double is minus 115. To say like one more assist, all we need, big fella. Look, we both are interested in this game in the immediate aftermath of the Mike Malone firing. We don't, I definitely would take the Nuggets if I'm taking anything on the side here. Would look at the over. Because I think offense is going to flow here under new coach David Adelman, who is Rick Adelman's son. Rick Adelman, who grew up, Dave Adelman grew up as a ball boy for the Blazers. So it wasn't Arvydas Sabonis playing yet, but he grew up in Portland. The greatest passing big man of all time, for those of you who need to go in the Wayback Machine, before Joker, Arvydas Sabonis, whatever. I mean, he was with his dad while he was coaching Vlade, Chris Webber. Amazing passing big man. He's been the OC for years for the Nuggets. He is part of the reason the Joker continues to unlock new levels of his game. And I mean, maybe, if we're just reading the tea leaves a little bit, like this is why ownership wanted a bit of a change to be like, look, we like the way this guy runs the offense. Mike Malone, get out of the way. You were saying that some of the role players felt a little slighted by Mike Malone, that he was always preferential. So whatever closed door talks happen here, I mean, Jokic as a leader is probably like, look, guys, like get on my back. I'm going to make plays for everybody. Like I don't like scoring 40 points a game, which is, why I'm not putting the points in here. In a 4-game sample without Jamal Murray, he's averaging 40 since the All-Star break. If you want to add the points, like I'm not going to gripe with it, but if you look at this particular matchup, he should be forced to pass more and rebound more. And I think because of those extra, intangibles, I think he's going to really try to lift up the rest of the team because that's when the Nuggets are better. And I think that's why they need to make a change to say like, we don't want Joker scoring this much. We want him setting everybody else up. This matchup, because Sabonis is actually pretty damn tough on the interior. Joker's only scored 23 on a 23% usage rate his last 3 against him, but he has 17 rebounds and 14 assists per game against Sabonis. So if you force him to not go all the way like in, he will kick it out. Last time, 15 rebounds, only 6 assists because he was going against Joval, not Sabonis. And then the last time out, on the road against the Dubs, who are really elite limiting his assists, who are really good at baiting him into becoming a scorer. So he wound up with 21 RA in that matchup. Otherwise, over six straight roadies in terms of the RA. Over his PRA, 6 of the last 8 following a loss. And the Nuggets now snapping a 4-game losing streak going against a Kings team that is terrible on the perimeter. Should lead to plenty of dimes for the Joker.
Yeah, I was conflicted with this one because he gets fewer dimes with Murray out. And Murray's probably not playing in this one. So I was conflicted and just stayed away. But I was considering this at where it's at. If you can get 9.5, because those 10.5 assists are high, then maybe the triple-double becomes worth it. But the triple-double for Jokic is like the home run for Kyle Schwarber a couple years ago now. It's like, he's probably going to do it, but I just can't take it at this price anymore. This is ridiculous. How am I going to pay, plus 150 for a home run, minus 120 for a triple double? What are we doing here? But yeah, I think if you like the boards and assists, I like the boards more than anything. I think if I just keep it short and sweet for you, I like the boards more than anything, but no qualms with this sort of, conjecture that you have that he's going to do this because there's no other coach and Adelman's son is there with him and all the rest of it. Love all of that. Love any time that you bring up Arvydas Sabonis as well. Please more of Arvidas Sabonis references on the show. We need it. Let's go to that Portland game. Speaking of Arvidas, and take Flip actually for the Jazz here. I'm going with Filipowski, and I'm going to be heretofore Flip, as we've said. I'm not saying Filipowski every time, but 15 points for the kid without Kessler, Markkanen, Collins. I mean, do I have to keep going on? Right? Let's just talk about who's in. Keontae George, Colin Sexton, this guy, Micah Potter, Bryce Sensabaugh, and maybe some Svi Mikhailik. Like, that's who we're going to be seeing in this game. So for Flip, it's really about no Kessler, but it's also about minutes, right? Because at the beginning of the season, there were some games without Kessler, and he still wasn't getting 20 minutes, right? He was averaging about 14 and a half games through December when he played without Kessler. So there was no correlation there. Then he started getting minutes. And one of those games that he started getting minutes without Kessler was against the Trailblazers, where he had 20 points. He did have 11 boards on 19 rebound chances in that one. The boards scare me though, because every time that I've tried to bet on his boards in the let's say last month or so when Kessler's out, there's big old Micah Potter playing power forward center and being a much better rebounder than him. And I imagine Micah Potter is actually the one guarding like Donovan Clingan, playing close to the basket. Flip probably playing stretch 4, right? Like I don't see 10 or 11 rebounds as the best way to bet on him. So I just love the points because he goes up to 17 points a game in the 11 games that he's played without Kessler, where he saw at least 28 minutes, which is conservative because I'm giving him 30, but take off the 2 minutes, just give him 28 so we can stay conservative. Over in 7 of 11 games, 17 points per game. His attempts go up from about 8 per game to 12, right, in these situations. So if he's going to be taking 12, I like that. I like the matchup that he'll have either. Now, here's the thing. Denny being in, not great, because if it's Denny versus him, not a great matchup at that point. But there will be those moments where he's either the center and then he's got the Clingan matchup. That one I do like for him. Consider over 1.5 threes because that's how I see him scoring. He's also good enough and skilled enough to drive from the 3-point line all the way to the bucket against Clingan and finish with like a little baby hook or something to that effect. Obviously, he's not going to power Donovan Clingan under the basket. He's going to be using finesse to do that. But then when he is playing against a guy like Denny, has a couple inches on Denny. Denny's a good enough defender that I really don't want that to be the matchup. I'm really hoping it's not, but I think he'll get enough minutes without it anyway that he should be good to go for the point. So it's really just going to be about his involvement in the offense without everybody who's around, in addition to the fact that he should have a good matchup, whether it's because he's more versatile or he's bigger than the guy that's guarding him in this one.
Yeah, Flip let us down, man. Last Friday, you were out sick, and he was the last leg of the parlay with the pace. The Pacers smashed everything they needed, but Flip scored very little because Colin Sexton took over. I think maybe this makes sense because Chumani Kamara is going to be on Sexton, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, if they want to deploy him on one guy, they'd be like, take that veteran out, and then Flip, yeah, like you're saying, gets a more favorable matchup. So should be good for his 15 as long as he's not getting the best defender on the other side.
Yeah.
Feel the same about Pods. Brandon Pajemski, over 15.5 points. Your boy is scoring at like a point per minute right now. And I mean, the Dubs are minus 16 on a back-to-back. So I would expect Steph to play, but like how much usage for Steph, right? I mean, he had 31% usage last night. He had monster usage in 3 straight wins over Memphis, Lakers, Nuggets. Then he had a dud against Houston. So the Warriors probably looking ahead to more competitive games would say like, look, don't gas yourself out here. Let's give a little more usage to Pajemski. And honestly, it's even better if he's out there because then Steph draws all the defense, allows more free ranging for Pods, allows him to operate against weaker defenders. And I mean, in the 3 without Steph this past month, though, he does have 26 PRA in 32 minutes. He does average 16 a game. Been less efficient, though, despite the increasing usage because, he gets better defenders on him. But last 3 back-to-backs when Steph might see lower usage, Pods has gone, 26, 8 and 6, 19, 5 and 4. He did drop 27 in 27 minutes against the Spurs just 10 days ago in a 30-point win where Steph had 18% usage. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here is like this is going to be more egalitarian, more spreading it around. With guys with veterans like Jimmy and Steph and Dre, if they're out there just saying like, hey, hopefully the young guns can get us a win here and we can save a little more energy for the long road that is still ahead.
Yeah. I might go just like ball like PRA even with our boy. Like I think he'll probably be out there. Oh wow, the rebounds are at 6.5. Never mind, that is insanity. They can't make this stuff high enough for Pods, who I cannot believe it is not talked about more, is identical to Jack Harlow. They should be doing a DNA test. Those guys look like twins. But he's been incredible, man. Jimmy has this key that he just unlocked everything for this squad, and now everything is on like 50 cc's extra, and Pods is on maybe 150 cc's extra. Like, dude is playing so well. That's why he's getting anywhere from 35 to 38 minutes. I mean, he's mid to high 30s. He's not even low 30s anymore, which is how crucial he's become to this team, playing off ball when he's got Jimmy and Steph, playing on ball when just one of them is out. Really impressive kid right now. So yeah, I'm with you on Harlow Pods in this one. And then I'm going to close it out with Michael Porter Jr. I honestly, like, I think I'm probably going to have like 4 bets in this Nuggets game, because I think there's a lot of ways that we can like depend on how things are going to go with Jamal Murray out. So like for MPJ, it's points. For a guy like Russ or even Aaron Gordon, I like assists for both those guys. They both go up in the dimes, but this is where I think I have the biggest edge is MPJ. I think without Murray, he should be up at about 19 and a half points. 19 and a half seems reasonable. He's averaging 21 a game when he plays without Jamal Murray and with everybody, right? Brown, Jokic, I even threw Russ in there, right? Let's get all the top 6 guys in there. Murray's out. Okay, well, in this situation, he's still at 21 a game, over in 6 of 7. His field goal attempts go up to 14.7, where he's at about 13 per game when he's, well, actually, I should be specific. He's at 12.1 field goal attempts per game when he plays with Murray. When he plays without Murray, up to about 14.7, even when he's playing with all of these guys, right? And if you don't even put the games where all of them are in, because there's been some where it was like Murray and Gordon, Murray and Jokic, Murray and Brown, whatever, in those games, as long as Murray's not in, he's at 22 and a half points per game. So I think that's just as accurate as the 21 points per game average that he has without Murray and with everybody. I'm not worried about it. Like, everybody out there is fine, but MPJ in this matchup versus the worst spot up shooting defense in the league for the Kings is what I come back to, right? Like, as long as Michael Porter Jr., who doesn't change the way he scores when Murray is not out there, maybe he gets a few more dribble handoffs from Jokic. Maybe he's a little bit more involved as a coming off the screen guy for with Jokic and playing a little bit of a 2-man game, because Jokic can do it with everybody. But most importantly, between Jokic and Russell Westbrook, there's 2 guys that are looking to pass pretty much the whole time that they have the ball, and that Michael Porter Jr. is going to be the guy that's always ready on the spot up, as that's what he does anyway, and he's playing the defense that's tailor-made to get those points against it. So going to take his points, consider some other stuff. Like I said, Russ assists sounds good. There's a lot of stuff to like in this one. Should be a good amount of points in the Kings and Nuggets matchup.
Yeah, and MPJ was notably in the doghouse a lot with Malone, right? So another guy you would look to be like, hey, the guy's gone. I'm going to step up. I'm going to show what I can do here. Kings are, like you said, the worst 3-point defense in the league right now, worst against spot ups. And while the efficiency hasn't been there, he's 3 for 15 from deep his last 2 against the Kings. Still wound up with 16 and a half points per game in those 2. So if he connects on those, he's certainly going to be able to go over.
Yeah, a little regression to the mean makes a lot of sense, because the head-to-head numbers weren't even worth bringing up for me, knowing that there's just different context. But that is all the time we have for you in Player Props. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that channel. Don't miss out on the best bets that we have for you with some sides and totals looks. And until we see you next, happy betting.